at Eleko Beach, Lekki, Lagos on the 4th of May, 2003. And 252 kilograms of loud seized from his enclave in Mushin on Wednesday, 26 July 2023. According to the statement, Temo's men had engaged NDLEA operatives in a gunfight in the last two encounters. In his reaction to the arrest of Temo, Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, commended the officers and men of the Lagos State Command Force. Special Monitoring Task Force and other formations assignment of getting the suspect arrested for their resilience, vigilance, and professionalism. Operatives of the Lagos State Police Command's Rapid Response Squad have arrested 90 male suspects during a raid on suspected criminals. The operation, which was done in collaboration with Area A Command, targeted notorious hotspots in Obalende, Adeniji, and Lagos Island areas of the state. It added that all the suspects have been handed over to the Lagos State Environmental and Special Offences Unit for further investigation and prosecution, while the RRS Commander C. Loye ordered an expansion of the squad's operations to cover Lekki, Jakonde, Roundabout, and VGC. ATN reported in April how RRS operative arrested 43 suspects along black spots in Oshodi and its environs during an overnight operation. Monarchy tussle in Araromi, Owu, Eya, Dade local government area of Osun State, which is escalated into a crisis in the community, has claimed 2 lives. The situation was said to have been developing since last week before it eventually snowballed into a full-blown crisis with the raising of cars by the aggrieved residents in the community. Ismail Olaoye said and machineries hired by the aggrieved party set fire to an access road into the town to prevent security operatives from entering. It was also gathered that some hoodlums were laid a batch of security operatives deployed to the community, inflicting injuries on some personnel. Another resident who pleaded anonymity pleaded disclosed that 5 persons have been killed in the crisis, while houses and cars were set ablaze by the rampaging hoodlums on the ground. That the monarch designate for the community is not qualified. The Osun Police Command spokesperson SP Yemisi Opalola, while confirming the incident, said that mobile police force have been deployed to the town along with a special police unit to restore peace. Also speaking, the special advisor to Osun State Governor on security, Barrister Samuel Ojo, said that only 2 casualties have been recorded, not 5, as claimed by some sources, adding that the crisis would have been brutal if not for government's intervention some days ago. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has promised to complete the Akpo-Kashi Road within 7 months that was awarded 13 years ago and abandoned. Wike said that the project has been delayed and politicized despite 86% of the contract value paid, and the project remains uncompleted.
The one that concerns FCT particularly is the Kashi Apple, which of course the people have been hearing is unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. For 13 good years, this road has been abandoned. And I want to say clearly that part of the problem we have here is politics. Everything we politicize, and that is why development cannot get quickly to our people. I'm happy with all that this present administration of the Hope agenda will do everything possible to save the area of Karashin to our poor is completed. The politics involved. So if you look at it, some people would think that you are trying to withhold people. But you see, I don't understand why. Would have paid, government have paid not like 86% of the funds. And look at where we are. So where we are. If it's okay, go and see what you say. Oh, it's political. Yeah, we change it. So let us not waste our time, and let's go ahead and see that we complete the job, and then the people will be happy. And that's what the government of the Hope agenda is all about. So don't talk about which change anybody. We know there will be problems. We have to solve the problems and make the people happy. That's what we have. Thank you, sir.
Speaking of the contractor, Wike said that in the next 2 weeks, he wants to see the equipment on ground before he commits funds, adding that the importance of having contractors sign an undertaking was to ensure accountability and commitment to transparency and efficiency.
And my doubt is about the capacity of the contractor. I don't need to be told when you go to a site and you see where people are working or the company is working, you can say, oh, this company has capacity. What kind of equipment you see, you can go home and sleep. We have been to several sites. All of us can attest to the fact that when you see equipment, you can say, look, if they tell you they're going to finish in just 1 month, you believe that they'll finish in just 1 month. But this, I don't believe, even if you put all the resources down. Again, if you go and terminate the contract, then you also have to pay the cost of it. So these are the problems. But I want to urge the contractor, it will no longer be business as usual. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. You must show that you will be serious. In the next few weeks, I want to see the equipment on ground before funds will be released. I will not go to release funds today when I don't see that capacity. So they must move the equipment to the site, and then that will convince me that yes, we can have some kind of, okay, they've shown some interest, they will can give some funds, but I can tell you here I'm not happy at all. So I think let us do the original design and then complete it, perhaps in the next 6-7 months. But like I've said, the contractor must show us that he has the capacity to deliver, and then we'll make him have an undertaking that funds provided, he will complete it within the duration of 6-7 months.
Nasarawa State government has raised the alarm over alleged plans by certain elements to perpetrate mayhem and breach the peace in the state. The government stated this through a statement issued by Yusuf Musa, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, saying that the plot was uncovered by security agencies. The syndicate allegedly plans to target high-profile personalities in the state using their aides as weapons. The statement also pointed out that the Nasarawa State government, in collaboration with the Nigerian Police, Department of State Security Services, Nigeria Army, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and other security operatives have implemented measures to apprehend the syndicate members and their sponsors. The permanent secretary also said that the Governor Abdullahi Ganduje-led administration has reiterated its commitment to upholding its covenant with the people by continuing the aggressive implementation of policies and programs that have placed the state on a path of growth and development. The state government urged citizens to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities or unknown persons to security agencies. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has called on relevant stakeholders for the holistic reform of the higher education curriculum in Nigeria. The governor stated this while he hosted the governing councils of Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, and the newly established Federal University of Health Sciences, Azare, at the State Government House in Abuja. At the State Government House in Bauchi, the governor, who acknowledged the reality of the universities in Nigeria, said that they are struggling to survive and the current curriculum is not adequately preparing students for the challenges of the 21st century. Governor Mohammed emphasized that the issues of youth restlessness and the unemployment can be addressed through a holistic reform of the higher education curriculum. The governor also addressed the recent security concerns around Federal Polytechnic Bauchi, assuring that measures have been taken to address the menace. He further reiterated his administration's commitment to supporting the educational institutions in the state. Mukhtar Gidado, the governor's chief press secretary, in a statement on Wednesday, said that during the visit, Air Commodore Emmanuel Jakada, retired, the pro-chancellor of ATBU, presented the newly inaugurated governing board. And according to Gidado, Dr. Samuel Babatunde Ajaere, pro-chancellor of the Federal University of Health Sciences, Azare, expressed gratitude to the governor for approving the use of ATAP Azare campus as a takeoff facility for the institution. KB High Court 7, sitting in Birnin KB and presided over by Justice Shamsuddin Jafar, has sentenced 3 people to life imprisonment for raping an 18-year-old married deaf woman. ATN gathered that the convicts are Aminu Sani, Aliyu Umar, Bashar Dan Ino of Wararin Zaromawa village. The prosecution counsel, Farida Muhammad, in her submission, said that the convicts, who were facing 2 counts of criminal conspiracy and rape perpetrated by the acts by Wararim Zaromawa village in Gwando local government area of the state. The council prayed the court to convict the defendants as charged because the law imposed the mandatory sentence. She said criminal conspiracy and rape were offenses punishable under sections 259 and 260 of the KB State Penal Code Law 2021. And the prosecution had earlier called 3 witnesses and tendered 6 exhibits, including both English and Hausa statements of the 3 prosecution witnesses in support of her case. The defense counsel, Ahmad Abubakar Filgila, called the 3 convicts to give evidence and testify in their defense without rendering any documents or exhibits. The defense counsel prayed the court to temper justice with mercy. In his judgment, Justice Jafar said that the procedure had established all the statements of carnal knowledge, all the elements of carnal knowledge of the victim, and he said that this was done through the collaboration and corroborated statements of the victim and the first defendant, and found all her evidence uncontroverted by the defense. The judge stated that the court holds the view that it has found the first, second, and third defendants guilty as charged. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Yobe State Command, has confiscated 305 blocks of cannabis weighing 152.5 kilograms en route to Niger Republic. The command spokesperson, Ramatu Badamosi, disclosed this to newsmen in Damaturu. She said that the 305 blocks of the substances were confiscated in Gaydam local government area of the state. According to the spokesperson, a 39-year-old suspect identified as Buka was arrested in connection with the seized illegal goods. With the seized illegal drugs at Gaydam on the 14th of July while taking the illicit consignment to Difia in Niger Republic. Chairman of NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, had over the weekend commended operatives of the command for the seizures and arrests, and noting that their operational successes and those of their compatriots across the country are well appreciated. He urged them not to rest on their oars, but to continue to intensify ongoing drug supply reduction and drug demand reduction efforts. Operation Whirlwind arm of the Nigerian Customs Service have confiscated a total of 41,425 liters of petrol from smugglers operating mostly around international borderlines of Adamawa and neighboring Cameroon Republic. The Operation Whirlwind National Coordinator Controller Hussein Ejibunu, who disclosed this during a press briefing in Yola, said that 9 vehicles that the smugglers used in conveying the contraband were also seized, and Ejibunu said that the seizure were made between May this year and now. Giving an update in seizures during the news briefing at the Adamawa Taraba Zonal headquarters of the Nigerian Customs Service in Yola, Ejibunu said that today we have kilograms of kegs of jerrycan and 20 drums containing 25 liters each and 220 liters each respectively, for which translates into 41,425 liters of PMS. He said the containers of the petrol were seized with the 9 means of conveyance being different boards of cars fitted with petrol carrying trackers hidden by thickly tinted windows. You are watching Transition News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this break. Please.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
You human trafficker.
Honourable
You are a human
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
No agreement with the EU, but
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Transition news on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. Federal government has reduced the allowances of foreign scholars who are studying under the Bilateral Educational Agreement Scholarship by 12.7%. The scholars are currently stranded in Russia, Morocco, and Algeria, amongst other countries. The reduction of the allowances was announced in a memo issued by the Nigerian government. In the memo signed by the director of the Federal Scholarship Board, Ndajiwo H.A., on behalf of the Minister of Education, Tahiru Maman, the federal government explained that the balance owed to the students would be paid whenever money is available. The government attributed the development to the current economic crunch in the country. Recently, Nigerian students studying in Russia, Morocco, Algeria, China, Hungary, and other countries on federal government scholarship had lamented their unpaid stipends for 8 months running. The BEA scholarship is an educational exchange program between Nigeria and the partnering countries. The Federal Scholarship Board supervises the scholarship under the Federal Ministry of Education. The memo said that the monthly allowances were slashed from $500 to $220, the graduation allowance from $2,500 to $2,000, and the postgraduate research allowance from $1,000 to $500. The total amount initially payable to each student was $5,650, but it will now be $4,370 per scholar. Federal government of Nigeria has resumed mass trial of persons allegedly involved in terrorism and suspects of other heinous crimes against the Nigerian state. This was disclosed in a statement by the head of Strategic Communication, National Counter-Terrorism Center, Office of the National Security Advisor, Michael Abu, in Abuja. Abu said that the resumption of trials was in pursuance of the government's commitment to promoting social justice by entrenching a transparent administrative system. He said the ongoing trials are in line with the international criminal justice system and were being administered by the Federal High Court of Nigeria. He added that the complex casework group of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and other critical stakeholders were also involved. According to him, the trials are being prosecuted under the coordination and supervision of the NCTC-ONSA. Abu said that more than 300 suspects were on trial, with 5 reputable judges manning the 5 courts and chambers set up for the speedy administration of justice. He further disclosed that the trial involved multiple stakeholders, CCG, prosecutors, and defense counsel from Legal Aid Council of Nigeria. Federal government has appealed to Nigerians for more time to address the hardship bedeviling the country, saying it is not sleeping on duty. The call is coming in the wake of the growing hardship in the country and calls for a nationwide protest against President Bola Tinubu's administration. The government described the planned protest as a family matter, stressing that all issues will be resolved in a way to ensure the peace and stability of the region. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, made this disclosure in Abuja after a meeting held by members of the Federal Executive Council at the instance of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume. When asked if the government has been engaging with the stakeholders and organizers of the planned protest, Idris said the engagement had always been on an ongoing thing, on the alleged insistence by some top Nigerians, including a senior advocate of Nigeria, Falana, that the protests must go on. Idris said that the senior lawyer was entitled to his opinion in a democracy. Analysts have frowned at the federal government's inability to proactively tackle issues of hardship across the country. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network's program, Open Conversation, a socio-political analyst, Justin Obi, emphasized the need for adequate attention and timely response for the citizens by the government.
Wait for people to say, okay, we're about to carry the protest before the right thing will be done. Of course, our president is not new to the country. Even before he came into power, he has his own, what is his prospect for Nigerians, for the masses. Now, you know that the
Meanwhile, Justin decried insensitivity on the part of the current administration.
something must have prompted you to that. Probably must have seen the way things are being done or things are being carried out in the country, and you are not comfortable and you want a change. Now, all this we mentioned as factors. They've been there before now,
sure,
even before this present administration. So the point is, what are the blueprints you have put to the table to ensure that we don't continue in this? My dear, 1 year is enough. 1 year is enough to turn things around. But what we are seeing here, we are not seeing those changes expected.
In this 1 year.
This is coming as President Bola Tinubu has appealed to Nigerians who plan to stage nationwide hunger protests to shelve the plan, and also called on citizens to give his administration enough time to respond to their requests. Minister of Information and National Orientation Muhammad Idris has said that while the government of President Tinubu acknowledges the rights of every Nigerian to engage in protests, it is equally committed to ensuring that these activities do not disrupt public order or violate the rights of others. Idris, who stated this when he received members of the Charismatic Bishop Conference on a courtesy visit to his office in Abuja, said the government is aware that some people would want to hijack the planned protests and unleash violence on innocent Nigerians, adding that President Tinubu was fully aware of the genuine concerns and complaints expressed by Nigerians across the nation, and he is actively working to implement effective policies aimed at alleviating the challenges faced by the citizenry and bringing relief to all Nigerians. The minister said in an unprecedented move, President Tinubu is fashioning out a policy of paying stipends to all young university and polytechnic unemployed graduates in the country pending their formal employment in any sector of the economy. He explained that because of the president's commitment to the welfare of Nigerian workers, even after the tripartite committee on the national minimum wage concluded its assignment and submitted its report, stressing that the president sustained disengagement with the organized labor unions until an amicable resolution was reached, which gave birth to the 70,000 naira minimum wage. Idris said that with the introduction of the compressed natural gas policy by the president is a game changer in the country's economy because of its ability to bring down the cost of transportation by about 60%, thereby providing a vehicle alternative for petrol and diesel, adding that any government procurement of vehicles or machinery must have a component of CNG embedded in the contracts. He also highlighted the significant improvements in the security situation in the country, saying since the advent of Tinubu administration, there has been a remarkable improvement in most of the flashpoints in the country, especially the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway, which used to be a nightmare for motorists. The Senate on Tuesday passed the Police Act Amendment Bill to enable a person appointed to the office of the Inspector General of Police to remain in office until the end of the term stipulated in the letter of appointment. The executive bill was forwarded to the Senate by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in a letter, and the Senate thereafter passed the bill for the second and third time after consideration of the bill. Correspondent Rotimi Adewuyi reports.
The Senate leader, Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, led the debate on the general principles aimed at amending the Nigerian Police Act 2020 to end future controversies regarding stipulated tenure of appointment and retirement age conflicts. President Bola Tinubu appointed IGP Egbetokun in June 2023 for a term of 4 years along 4 new service chiefs. According to Section 18, Subsection 8 of the Police Act 2020, IGP Egbetokun, who was born on September 4, 1964, is expected to retire in September this year, when he will be 60 years old. By that time, he will have been in office for 1 year and 3 months, with 2 years and 9 months remaining of his 4 years appointment. The controversies about the tenure of IGP didn't start with Kayode Egbetokun as the IG. IGP Usman Baba retired was not in any way different, which this bill seeks to address these controversies.
This bill seeks to enable a person appointed to the office of the Inspector General of Police to remain in office until the end of the term stipulated in the letter of appointment. The bill aims to revolutionize police operation by enhancing accountability, modernizing policing methods, and fostering a more harmonious relationship between the police and the community.
However, Senator Ahmed Lawal and Senator Siriaka Dixon had expressed concerns over the bill and seek further explanation based on their separate opinions as shared.
Is there any clause anywhere that subjects the stay in office by the IGP to good conduct, to performance? Because, Mr. President, when we simply give them the opportunity to serve as far as the tenure in the letter indicates, I think that will be abused because somebody will feel he will not be removed regardless. And I think if there is no proviso, I have my worries here.
This amendment, we should look at it carefully, particularly as it relates to somebody staying in office for as long as the office. An appointment that is created by the Constitution, the tenure and the way and manner the person should be removed should be in accordance with the Constitution and the prevailing laws, and not a letter of appointment.
The bill, however, provides clarity and stability in the leadership of the Nigerian Police Force, ensuring that the IGP can serve the full term as appointed without obstructing retirement due to age constraints. The new Police Act amended bill, when assented to by the President, will enable an appointed Inspector General of Police to remain in office for 4 years irrespective of his retirement age. Rotimi Adewoye, ATN News, Abuja.
And viewers, this is the size of the package